Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Antares Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now, we're going to talk about motherfucking numerology. Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about motherfucking numerology. Now, with numerology, you know, people get a lot of miscommunications and misconceptions of numerology and shit. So a lot of times you may listen to it and you may be like, God damn, I'm a little bit more confused than I was in the first place. Because, you know what I'm saying, dealing with numbers and things of that nature, it can get very confusing. It can get, like, it can get to a point where it's almost like you're still unsure on what to actually do. So you still have to go back to certain things to kind of catch back on what kind of path that you're on numerology wise. But I'm gonna break it all down so it could be actually simple, so you could basically understand it. Because a lot of times when you are going on, people who are talking about numerology and stuff like that, a lot of attributes that they place on one number is really what we all do. Like, no matter what number you is. Like they say something like the number 6 person is creative, and they're here to nurture, and they're here to give off certain qualities, when really it doesn't matter what number you is, you're here to learn some type of nurturing or some type of creativity mechanism. So see, that's not getting the meat and the root of the bones. So right now we're going to get to the meat and the root of the bones of actually numerology and what number you come to your life path. Now, I had to write me down a little manuscript for myself. Now, first of all, I want to talk about when we talk about the odd and the even numbers. The odd numbers is the yang, the even numbers is the yin. And all that means is the yang is going to represent a disconnect. The yin is going to represent a connect. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that means right there. So basically, the odd numbers is outer, the yin numbers is inner. So a lot of times, you know, with the odd numbers, it's gonna revolve more around the self and things that you're doing towards the self, and the even numbers is going to predicate more to dealing with the self while involving yourself with a person, place, or thing. So a lot of times the even numbers is applying yourself when you're going into the worlds of a person, place, or thing, and the odd numbers is taking yourself out and knowing thyself without a person, place, or thing. So you see what I'm saying? The odd numbers is learning yourself without a person, place, or thing. The even numbers is learning yourself with the person, place, or thing. So they both go hand in hand. So it's basically they're on the same path, there's different outlooks. Now that's all when we talk about the number being yang and the numbers, odd numbers being yang and the even numbers being yin. Now let's break it down. Now, when we talk about if you a life path number 1 person, then what happens here is you're here to figure out yourself. You're here to, so in the meantime, while you're on this light now, because I'm gonna do this simple. I'm not gonna go through a whole different. I'm gonna make this simple so you could elaborate all realms of realities that fall under that. For an example, all right. You're here to figure out yourself if you're a life path number 1 person. So you know everything that falls under realms of reality when it comes to here to figure out yourself. We know when you're placed in situations, and if you are a person who are a clingy or a needy person, or need someone else's advice or need someone else's understanding to do things, then you know if you're a life path number 1 person, you're going to fall short in that area. See, those realms of realities that fall under number 1. So by me just saying you're here to figure out yourself, if you're a person who are at least wise enough or have some sense, you should be able to elaborate yourself and with your own friends of all things that could fall under that realm of reality. So I can make this video, you know what I'm saying, is exclusive right now, inclusive. So basically, a number 1, if you're a number 1 person in your life path, you're here to figure out yourself. But so what mean is you may be placed in a lot of circumstances where you may feel alone or have to do things alone in your life. And you can elaborate under that. Now, let's go to if you're a life path number 2 person. If you're a life path number 2 person, then you're here to figure out others. So you know all the realms of realities that's here to figure out others. So if you're a life path number 2 person, then you're here to figure out. So if you're trying to learn yourself, right, and then you're trying to understand something, it's like something keep going on and on and on in your life, then if you're too busy just thinking that you're the own blame and you're blaming yourself all the time, you know you're going to fall short as a life path number 2. 9 times out of 10, you need to start paying attention to the people, places, and things that's in front of you, that you're relating to. Because a lot of times, that 9 times out of 10, that's the reason you're in the situation you in. And so a lot of number 2 people could place a lot of blame on themselves. So you're here to learn. You're here to figure out others, and then throughout that life path, you're going to be placed throughout your life in a lot of, you may be placed in a lot of difficult relationships, or a lot of difficult, you know what I'm saying, situations when you was relating to people, you know what I'm saying. So that's life path number 2. Now, if you're a life path number 3 person, you're here to figure out your surroundings. So think about everything that falls up under that. You're here to figure out, understand your surroundings. What's around you? What is things like? Not only your room, but what's the things in your room? Not only that you have friends, but what's connecting y'all? Why are y'all friends? Y'all share some type of relative communication or something, whatever like that. Your neighbors, your surroundings. So you know what I'm saying. You're here to figure out your surroundings. So and throughout your life, you may be placed in situations where the home may be unstable, or it may be, or you may move around a lot. You may have to move a lot, or things of that nature, or move a lot of relatives, or you may be a person who may live with your friend at one point in time in your life, or had to do something like that. But that's life path 3, understanding your surroundings, so it can play out like that. Now, if you're a life path 4 person, getting back to it again, you're here to figure out your circumstances. So not your surroundings, but your circumstances. For an example, everything that falls under your circumstances. That's like what not only your surroundings, but what's your capability in these surroundings. You know what I'm saying? Are you handicapped, or are you well aware? Are you well capable? Are you know what I'm saying? Your or your home that you stay in, is the neighborhood in your surroundings, is it capable enough or isn't capable enough? Understanding your surroundings from a capability level. So it's like how to figure out your circumstances. That's what a circumstance is. Not only your surroundings, but what are the obstacles in these surroundings? What are the main, that's circumstance. So right here, so it's like not only your home, like the 3rd house, understanding where you live at, but what the fuck is these people and these things and this things that's in where I live at. You see what I'm saying? So that's the 4th house. So you may be placed in a lot of situations where personal things may always be out of hand. You know what I'm saying? Because you're here to understand your circumstances. So you're going to be placed in a lot of circumstances where things may be out your hand. So here's another disclaimer for the your life path. Now notice how I'm saying something that notice how I'm saying there's going to be situations you're constantly placed in this life based upon your life path, and telling you at first where your life path is telling you you're here to learn, because the scenario it keeps placing you in, the more and more you experience that, the more and more you gain wisdom or knowledge on that's what you need to learn. And the more and more you develop these experiences, the more and more you're able to teach somebody else this. So that's like a spiritual path, a spiritual learn. So that's basically what numerology is. So the number path is basically like what you need to learn. So it's going to make you experience a short or a large amount of these circumstances in order for you to learn it. And how fast or how slow your spiritual path is how many experiences you're going to have to go through. And we're going to get to the master number. Now, when we get to the 5th life path, the 5th life path, if you're a number 5 person, what happens here is you're here to figure out all circumstances. So you're not just here to figure out your circumstances, like your relationships and with this and situations that you're in. See, we're getting back to Yang. You know what I'm saying? This is more of a freedom, where a number 4 person may want to be in a relationship and make that work. A number 5 person may want to experience a lot of relationships to see which one work, and not just put all their eggs in one basket. So that'll be the difference between 4 and 5. See, now 5 is you're here to figure out all circumstances, not just your own, but here to figure out all circumstances. So that may lead out into your life as situations where it may play out where it may be a lot of unsure times in your life. You may feel unsure, or you may be extra curious. But other than that, you're here to understand, learn all circumstances. So if you're a life path person and you've been in a number 5 person and you've been in a relationship for a long time, and you're just figuring to yourself like, maybe I need to go counseling or just really try to figure out and make this work, and year go on and it may not work. It may not work because you're a life path 5 person, and it's important to your spiritual nature for you to, experience a certain amount of relationships until you find that one. Some people find it and they don't have to go through a lot of relationships. See, a number 4 person, if a number 4 person is trying to experience a lot of relationships so they find the right one, this is where a number 4 person may fall short, because a number 4 person is here to work out one. So if a number 4 person connected to a person off the bat, then that was the one. So any problem that's going on, they're here to make it work. A number 5 person is not like that. You see what I'm saying? It's the other way around. If they're trying to make something work and they constantly see it's not working, because they're here to find a person, place, or thing that does work. So let's go to number 6. Number 6, the number 6 life path person is you're here to understand what help is, the realm of reality of what is help, and you're here to understand your gift. So you're going to experience a lot of situations where you're going to feel unhelped and you're going to feel like you have nothing to offer. And the more and more you experience those situations, the more and more you're going to develop. The universe is going to force you, or you should be strong enough to force yourself as later on in life to force yourself to have a gift, to know even if it ain't nothing but yourself, that's what you have to offer, and to help someone is just actually concern and discern, and you don't need material things. But these one of the things you're gonna have to learn in this lifetime as a life path number 6 person. So you're here to understand the actual concept of help, and you're here to learn your gifts. And you may be placed in a lot of situations where you may be taken advantage of or used as a crutch, or may need it. So that's the life path number 6 person. Now, when we go to life path number 7. Now, life path number 7. Now, what happens here is with a life path number 7 person, you're here to figure out what you see. So it ain't really necessarily your circumstances that you really got to figure out, because you could be in any kind of fucked up circumstances. But a number 7 life path person, you're here to see it for what it is, regardless if it's negative or bad. You're here to actually understand and understand what you see, what's in front of you, because the 7th is like the light. It's like a frequency. It's almost like the angel number. So it's going to carry a certain light. And anytime you tie 7, the number 7, or tie it to an angel or something like that, we know you're receiving information, and we know information is light, and we know light travel real fast, and it flies, and it's a frequency, and you know what I'm saying? So the number 7 signs, the number 7 number people, is you're here to figure out what you see. So that may lead into a lot of scenarios and situations in your life where that you may experience times of being unclear, or or being manipulated by people, because the more and more you're placed in that situation and scenario, the more and more you're going to learn how to not get taken advantage of no more, how to not get manipulated, because you're going to experience being in that before. So as you get older and on your life path, you're gonna know, like, nah, this is a manipulative moment right here. I don't need to be diving into that this part in the scenario right now. You see what I'm saying? Now, when we want to talk about life path 8. Now, the life path 8. Now, with life path 8, now you're here to understand time. You're here to under and overstand time. So throughout your life, you're going to be placed in a lot of situations where you're going to feel highly impatient. You may be a very impatient person as a number 8 person. You want to get things done. You want to get things done. And on the flip side, you're going to experience a lot of chaotic moments that happen real fast. Things that just happen at the blink of an eye, just because you couldn't be patient, or just because people around you couldn't be patient. You see what I'm saying? That things happen in the quick of an eye. Then you're going to experience a lot of situations where things that seem like it's never taken off, because you're here to learn what patience really means, so you can make something perfect and not just get something that you asked for and then you realize you really didn't want it. So that's the eighth sign path people here. Y'all here to understand time. So if you're a number life path person that's always frustrated, things not taking off, but you're here to understand that energy itself. You're here to learn how to be patient. So if you like, why I gotta feel like this? All that energy, that's what you're here to experience. So learn how to overcome that, and then you're going to be able to go to the next level. Now, life path 9 person, and this is what I am. And notice how all these signs, like they try to go like the higher up, the more important it is. No, we all on the same playing field. It's just different outlooks and different versions of your spiritual path and the number it looked like. Not the color, not the color, aka the temperament of it. Not the shape, aka the astrology of it. But just the number, the loop of it, the loop. Like you see, like I'm growing my hair back. You know what I'm saying? See, like you see the loop of it. You know what I'm saying? The loop, as you see in fruit, as you see in the back of someone's head, as you see in clothes, as you see knitted and all that. That's all what numbers is. Numbers is loops. So when a sequence is started, right, and then once it starts to spiral as a frequency, you see a bunch of loops. You know what I'm saying? When you cut that in half, that loop, when you cut that frequency in half, it just looks like a bunch of 6s and a bunch of 9s. You know what I'm saying? But then when you slice that in half, it's like a bunch of 3s. You know what I'm saying? And when you cut that in half, you start to get 5s, and you start to get 4s. You know what I'm saying? Then you start to get 7s. You know what I'm saying? And then the loop itself is 8. So that the time that loop traveled, that's what make 8. That's why 8 correlates with affinity. You see what I'm saying? Like it's all, that's what the number is, a different frequency of life, basically. You know what I'm saying? Once you cut that, the more and more you cut in half, you start to get a bunch of 1 pieces. Like it just be pieces of 1. But as they going in this loop of the frequency, as that loop is all the time, look like 8 bunch of 6s and 9s. You know what I'm saying? But together it look like an 8 as the 6s and 9s are spinning together. But when you cut down through with that, with experience, you get 4s and 5s, and you know what I'm saying? That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? But the number 9 person, now the number 9 is you're here to understand wisdom. You're here to understand wisdom. So you know, you may experience in your life a lot of failures and a lot of overwhelming type situations, because with these, and then situations you may perceive them as harsh, more harsh than other people, because a lot of times you may get a number 1 as a number 9 person, you may get a 1 person in your life, or a number 3 person in your life, or a number 8 person in your life to look at you like it ain't even that serious. Why are you thinking that deep or thinking that hard? But going through that realm of reality as a number 9 person, you're able to extract the real fruits of the wisdom and knowledge out of that. So you're able to perceive certain experience, but you can make yourself if you're here to experience a lot of stuff due to your natal chart, you could be feeling like you're so wise that you end up making yourself not experience what you're supposed to experience, so you don't end up receiving the fruits of labor in this lifetime that you're supposed to. But for the most part, you understand realms of reality from abroad, because you understand it from your concept and other people's concept, because you're inhaling experiences as like it's a life itself. You see what I'm saying? So that's the number 9 life path. Now when we get to the master numbers, like they like to call them master numbers, like 11, 22, you know what I'm saying, 33, or whatever, just that and third. Now the master numbers, this don't mean anything. Anytime something's added and added weight, that just means it's brought into density. So anytime something's brought down, is more of it. So if we're talking about experience metaphorically and spiritually, we have to be talking about life experiences. So off the bat, when your life experience is brought down, something's added to it, then that means it's just more of it. So in this case, metaphorically, numerology, more experience. So your spirit is just experiencing more experience with the soul. So with your life path as being if you come back as a master number, you're just experiencing more experiences. Now that could be a good or a bad thing, because the good thing is you can have more information and more knowledge amongst the realm of reality of the master number you in. For an example, for a number 11, that's 2 1s, and then that's 2, because 1 + 1 is 2. So right here, you not only are you here to think about yourself, but you're here to think about others. So you're going to be conflicted throughout your life about and you're going to be placing a lot of scenarios where you're going to be thinking, okay, should I take myself to help this person, or should I just help myself at this moment? And you could trickle down into all those scenarios that can happen like that. But that's what you're going to be conflicted with. But like I said, the more and more you go through experience, you still gain wisdom and knowledge out of it. So the more and more you get, the more and more conflicted situations you in, the better and better you know how to handle type shit like that. So when a number 4 person or a number just 2 person by themselves come into your life and don't know how to handle certain situations, like when something may get out of hand, a bill may get out of hand, or a certain fight may get out of hand, and they don't know how to actually handle it, you actually can handle these situations better than them. You see what I'm saying? So that's like the gift and the curse of master numbers. Same with 22. 22 would be 4 and it'd be 2. So not only have you just can't think about yourself, you have to think about the circumstance of all parties of things in it too. So not only do you have to think about another person, but you have to think about the other person situation that they in too, that'll make them even come to the conclusion that they in. So you know what I'm saying? It's more power, but then it's less power also. So it's how you want to look at it. So that's how you're supposed to look at numerology. This is basically numbers in general and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like numbers, anytime, numbers is just 1 through 9. When we start to add numbers and go through compound, the farthest we could go is to 12. Anytime you, and then that goes back to 3. You know what I'm saying? That don't even go back to 0 or 1. You know what I'm saying? 9 goes back to 0. You know what I'm saying? So 12 is not even more powerful than 9. But at the same time, we want to get to the situation where we need to know when we start to talk about the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, and look at a numerology like this. Say something. Just say this is the 0 line, right? Then it goes to -9, and then this way it goes to +1, and then it's 0 right here. So this way, wait, nah, we ain't gonna do -9. We're gonna do -1 +1. So this is 0 +1 -1, and both directions go to 9. The negative is gonna go through the yin realm. The positive is gonna go through the yang realm. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is the creation of breath. You know what I'm saying? Yin and Yang. This is the creation of breath, because you're going in. This is the creation of breath, and the breath is the creation of the frequency vibration. So breath represents the vibration of the frequency. When frequency is just a flat line. That's why it's a flat line in a hospital. When someone dies, a flat line. Something breathing is the vibration. The higher the vibration is, the higher it's going between the two. But it's going in negative. Breathing in is negative. Breathing out is the positive, the yang. You see what I'm saying? So when you're born, you're at a 0 frequency. When you're born, you go negative first. You see what I'm saying? Because you breathe in first. So your body get pushed out, but it breathe in, right? Then it go the opposite around. When you dream and breathe out, your inner go in the yang, and your yang go into the outer. See, you see what I'm saying? So it's like a vibration thing. So the higher you could vibrate, the faster you could bring into existence wherever level you're vibrating at. So wherever your frequency then drop down in life, wherever you're vibrating at, the higher you vibrate at wherever your frequency vibration at, because you got many people who probably vibrate higher than your frequency, lower, or the same pace. Now wherever yours at, the higher you vibrate, the more you can bring whatever you want in your mind into the frequency megahertz and make it vibrate the same place where you're vibrating at, so it could be in your world, in your realm of reality, tangible in your existence. So this part is another video, but this is the actual numerology point that I'm trying to make. So as a spirit, you're always vibrating on each number path, but the spiritual path that you land on may be on 4 or 5. Like I'm a number 9 person, so on this scale, my spiritual path landed on 9 already. You know what I'm saying? It could be -9 at times, and it could be positive 9. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm vibrating. But at the same time, it's at 9. So anytime I'm lowering my vibrations, I'm going 4, and some people vibrate at 1. So we're supposed to go through all these, but your path is to focus on which one it is. So if you're vibrating on 1, the more you focus on being a better number 1 path, you vibrate on that level. The better you a 5-person path, and like I said, it's not